welcome to Pubs of Prague, where there's no pubs, because we're still on the couch, and I haven't moved since last week. So it's living rooms of Prague. It's the COVID conversations number 3. And as always, Prague's favourite Belgian is here, Tin, and he's the man with a plan, but he's not telling anyone. Hi, Tin.
I have got a very elaborate plan, John. Thank you very much.
Oh, we're going to look forward to hearing
As yourself, I'm still stuck on the couch since last week. Haven't really moved.
I haven't shaved, and I haven't had a shower either. I'm disgusting. I'm just letting it all go.
Why not?
Fresh from the grotto, Simon's here. He's always here. Simon says, "You're going to say something or what?"
Hello, guys. Good afternoon.
How are you? Well, thank you very much. Same to yourself.
It's lovely to see you both. Lovely to see you both. I'm so lucky. I must have saved a fortune over the years. I don't think I've had a haircut since, it's got to be the 90s.
So when did you go bald? At that time?
Yeah, I think I was about 25. Just after my second daughter was born. Yeah, it started thinning out. We're all bald.
Stress.
Huh?
The stress.
No, it's hereditary, because I've got 3 brothers and 2 of them are quite bald. One went bald really early on, like 18. And I've got another brother who's still got a bit, but is starting to march back. He's worried like hell. It's just in the genes, Tim. Huh?
Sorry?
Just in the genes. I thank my mother.
I was going to say, nowadays it's quite easy to get a transplant if you want. So
yeah, I'm not that vain. I really don't care.
The 10 year. Well, you're sorted. You're like married already.
So what you're saying, Tiernan, is that women are not attracted to bald men.
It depends on the
That's a
shape of your
very controversial thing to say. Do you hear that, all you bald men out there?
Depends on the shape of your head, and some people can pull it off, some people can't.
Yeah, that's true. There's some shocking heads.
I think you look quite good, although I haven't seen you with hair. So
I'll get a photo one day. I'll show you. You'll laugh.
Yeah. Oh, how was tennis yesterday? Simon was
well
good without the mask.
This court put like new sand down, and apparently he doesn't let you play without tennis shoes, and I don't have any. So, and my friend really wanted to play, so I was like, where the fuck can I get tennis shoes from? And then Decathlon was open for pickup, and there was 1 pair left in my size, so I went there. There was 600 crowns. I had to go all the way to Letnany, got them, came back, packed a bag, and went straight there. So it was all a bit rushed, but the tennis was really good. Yeah.
Yeah, it would have been good. Would have been good to blow off some steam with some serious exercise.
Mm-hmm.
So do you play on a plexi-pave stuff, or what do you play on?
Different stuff. Yesterday it was like a proper like clay court, which has just been like newly done for the summer. That's why they don't let you wear. And I got told off at the end in Czech because I just started cleaning the court. But actually you're supposed to use a different brush first to like level it out again, so there's no holes on the court.
You sort of bag it out, don't you?
Like self-cleaning.
Yeah, but my favorite court is on the island. You know where Natter is, and then you go across that bridge. There's the island.
Camper.
Yeah.
The
there's a tennis court. Yeah, so that's quite a nice location.
Did you win?
No, we're just having casual hit.
Oh.
A bit rusty.
Tiernan, what's happening with the restrictions in the Czech Republic?
Well, at the moment, John, we have a little bit of a glimmer of light at the end of the tunnel, let's say, because, first of all, the state of emergency has been extended until the end of the month, so until April the 30th. But in spite of that, people are saying that during June, there's a good chance that we won't need the face masks anymore. Time will tell, of course, if this will actually happen or not, but it sounds optimistic. Some other measures that have been put in place include, if you're running now in park or in place of nature. It stated you do not need the face mask anymore, which is again quite positive. So we shall see if this can be extended to other parts, whether the face mask will be done away with completely, or it'll just be in certain, let's say, crowded places we'll have to wear it. That would be, again, we'll see about that. Otherwise, what else has there been? Some shops are being opened slowly but surely.
Yeah.
This is also quite a sort of.
So, but not all shops, is it? Which ones are opening? It's the hardware shops, isn't it? Aren't they?
Yes, there should be always some sort of, let's say, practical use in these times. So, as you say, hardware shops will open slowly but surely. What else was it?
Bicycle repair. Right?
Yes, that was it. That was it. Yeah, because people need their bikes to.
Tennis shoe shops.
To and fro from people.
So
yeah, some shops are opening. There is now the possibility of not having any more face masks in June.
That'll be good.
We are not getting in the last week. We have not had more than 300 new cases, which compared to the rest of Europe is very positive. And I think this is every day. This is round about 5%. Sometimes a bit lower even. We're not quite at the South Korea or what is ostensibly coming out of China. Whether you believe that or not is up to you. But basically, these countries are around 1%, which is what every country needs to be trying to aim towards, and get an increase of 1% per day.
What other countries are doing the mandatory masks? That is a pain in the ass. I hate doing it, but it's probably been a really good thing. It's probably been very helpful in the good numbers that there are here in the Czech Republic. Italy's doing it?
I'm not sure. Well, Italy and Spain have a slightly different lockdown than we do. Like it's more, it's a lot more strict. It's a lot more controlled than what we have, and they cannot, I think, leave the house basically for maybe anything. Like we have a lot more freedom and liberty compared to them. That's for sure.
Yep.
So
the differences are stark.
I mean, in France, for example, you need to have a document stating your purpose once you leave the house.
Yeah, I'm always carrying some ID on me. Well, you do anyway, but I'll make it my business now to definitely carry some sort of reasonable identification on me now. But I've never been pulled up. What about the toilet?
Yeah,
Sorry, go on.
Yeah, I was just going to say I was out running last night because I couldn't sleep again. This is like the biggest drawback, I think, of this confinement. I just cannot sleep at all because I think I'm just not active enough during the day. So anyway, I was out running last night at 3 a.m.
Like a gazelle.
Well, I mean, I'd like to think so in my
or
head.
Like an elephant.
Possibly more like the latter. But anyway, a couple of police cars were doing the rounds of the area, and I thought I might be stopped, but actually I wasn't.
Well, they said, "There's Prague's favourite Belgian. Look at him go. We won't."
Maybe I'm already somewhat famous by this stage. I don't know, but no, they left me alone. So I think in general people are being left to their own devices. I think obviously now in forest you don't need the mask anymore. We can ask Simon about it a little bit later as well. People are still, sometimes you see groups of, they're not supposed to be more than two, of course, but people you still see some people gathering in 3 or 4s, which is technically still not allowed. So I wouldn't personally risk this, but people are doing it. But as we say, the statistics and the figures are quite positive for the Czech Republic in general.
Yeah, it is. They've done well here.
They've done well here, so I think it should be seen as a model for the rest of Europe, as we said last week.
Well, do you know speaking of as a model of Europe and probably Australia, Australia's own Olivia Newton-John, she of many hits from the 70s and of course Grease and a few other films. She's actually, there was that Czech video went viral. This Czech couple made it in English for Masks for All. Well, our very own Olivia back home in Australia has taken up the cause and said, Australia, be like the Czechs and mask up. But who wants to, I mean, unless the government's telling you to do it and make it mandatory, some people might do it, of course, but it's nice to see.
It's a good question, John, actually, about the obligatory carrying of, or what's the wearing of the mask, because I'm not sure do any countries have it. I can't think of any off the top of my head where it's obligatory. I
thought Italy and Spain.
I'm not sure. You could be right, but
I think they've recommended them, that the countries have recommended that the people wear them, but I also don't think any of them forced it.
I'm pretty sure Belgium doesn't have any obligation to wear it, and they should, because Belgium is one of the worst countries. So we're the fourth worst, I think, at the moment in terms of proportional cases to our population.
Anything goes there, Tiernan. You can do whatever you like over there.
Pretty much.
And when I'm there, I do.
Oh well, you can tell us off camera, John.
I will. I'll email you
for a family-friendly show like this.
I'll email you my Belgian escapades.
Yeah, you can tell me everything.
Well, you two guys are very social guys who like get out a lot. And now you're stuck at home, alone. I mean, I have my wife and my 3 girlfriends, but I don't have.
Lucky you.
But I'm getting in very close with the neighbours. No, I'm not. But what about this is a problem, and I think it's probably a problem with men. What about loneliness? Is that something that's afflicted you?
Well,
it's a very personal question. I know you can tell me to shut up, but I mean, I think most people would get it at some point. And at this point,
no, it's an interesting question, and actually,
a bit heavy. Is it a bit heavy?
There have been quite a few discussions about this, and for once, this is something that actually affects extroverted people a lot more than introverted, and extroverts are by definition therefore getting more, let's say, criticism.
Starved of attention.
Yes, well, depends how sympathetic you look on their plight, but let's say normally introverted people are looked at as maybe a little bit strange on occasion in society, and now we have the opposite occurring. The people who are extroverted are finding it very hard to get the audience they require, because they can't go out, and this is the drawback of living alone. I like living alone, but at the moment it's not ideal, because if you had housemates, or like John's case, if you have a family, and they're still human beings you can discuss things with.
You can feel human flesh, and oh yeah, I remember what it feels like. I mean, I don't have that problem, I'm always rubbing my wife up, so.
Well, you should,
A bit too much. It's too much information. You don't want to know that. Sorry, kids.
Maybe she can come on next week to fill
Perhaps,
us in.
Yeah, I'll ask her.
But anyway, to answer your question, I'm not sure loneliness is the correct word, but you do feel a somewhat frustration that you can't see someone in person, that you can't engage with them, you can't discuss the conventional things on a day-to-day basis with them. So I think at least at this point, I mean, it could get to a point after another 2 or 3 weeks where you do start to become lonely. You just miss the human contact, and speaking on the phone or on Skype or FaceTime is not quite the same. So it'll be interesting to see what.
Sorry, Jim. Simon,
anyway.
do you feel that, or how are you coping? You shouting at your neighbour from balcony to balcony?
No, the balcony is the one thing I don't have, unfortunately, here.
Oh, I'm one up on you there, but you've got a
But if
grotto,
I
a
had that,
falconry, and a
yeah,
pool.
I would never leave the apartment if I had a big balcony. Could just sit there and drink. But yeah, I would agree with what Tianan says. Like,
That's a cop out, man. He gave a
no,
very thorough.
let me explain. Um, I like living alone, and I'm also used to. I don't have any siblings or anything, so I'm used to my own company. That's not the problem, and I could not live with flatmates now because I think you would get sick of them. See, you're in lockdown with your flatmates. I think that's the worst thing possible. But yeah, I would agree on the contact thing. That is quite annoying. Like this video thing the whole time. It doesn't really feel real. So
I'm a bit.
Yeah, it's strange. We are speaking to each other, but it feels a bit, I don't know, like, yeah, a bit artificial or something.
Just
Exactly.
imagine if the internet was cut off during this whole lockdown. Imagine.
Yeah, no. Imagine it was 1988. I mean,
We'll
well,
be
we
dead.
didn't know any better, so you would have got through it. But this has made a hell of a lot of difference, the internet. And what are celebrities going to do? Especially the ones that don't play music. The ones that play music and get the guitar out. They'll be starving. They'll always playing
They make TikTok videos of themselves doing something stupid.
Oh,
put it on Instagram, get a lot of likes, and they feel a certain warm glow inside.
Yeah, they feel the love, the attention that they crave.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, it's time for prick of the week. Is it me, Simon? Is it me? Am I the prick of the week?
No, I've thought about it a bit more. I can't go with someone that I know. So.
Just
in case there's some retribution involved.
You could tell me to go to the room of mirrors and have a damn good look at myself, you and your attitude. Sorry, I'm referring to myself. Go on. Prick of the week.
So it's going to be footballers. But I'm grouping them all together because partially on the continent, so for example, footballers or football clubs in Germany and Spain have actually been taking like wage cuts or deferring their wages to pay for the playing staff, the non-playing staff that are normally on like, I don't know, minimum wage. So like chefs or kit people.
The boot stutter.
Yeah, so this was brilliant. So these are not the pricks. The pricks are the ones then, for example, the clubs in England that made a huge issue about it. And because one minister mentioned that they should be a bit more involved. And they took a bit of offense to taking a wage cut. You know, multimillionaires, they wanted to take it into their own hands, which they did in the end. So they sort of twisted it to make themselves look like the victim in it. And then on top of that, these players, there was one guy who was invited around his friend's place. So he drove there in his like slippers and stuff for a few beers. And then when he drove back, he crashed his car, I think. So I think he was I think he was under the influence of alcohol. Next day, he posted a video, completely half-assed response saying like, well, you got to respect it, stay in lockdown. And then he said, I'll be following the rules in the near future. I was like, the near future? Mate, you need to start following them immediately. And
Who was that? He'd be playing
Jack Grealish, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Jack Grealish, yeah. And then another thing was like some players from Tottenham and the manager were caught training in like a public park. And of course, after it comes out and gets reported, they apologize and stuff. But it's always this thing that they think they're above everybody and they don't do anything wrong until they get caught and then give this stupid apology. So that's why the prick of the week. But it's over several weeks.
Let's say some professional footballers.
Mm.
Well, yeah, right. And you know what? This is all showing, all this. We've seen all these major sporting events, shut down and closed out and cancelled and all that. And I'm sure a lot of people are missing it. And I am too. But it shows the irrelevance of sport, doesn't it? It's not that fucking important. He's a millionaire who just went to about 60 odd supermarkets in the town where he's from. And he just, you know, they had the seniors hour or 2 hours where elderly folk can go in and shop and not be hassled by the youth, you know, us youth. And they just went in there and said, right, every senior, this is in 60 something stores, every senior that goes through the tills now today, tell them I'm covering it, or don't, just say it's paid, so they don't have to pay a cent. But this guy covered it. So, I mean, it obviously costs a lot of money. And he just paid for everything out of 60 stores, 60 supermarkets. Did you have a look at this?
And then, of course, to wait for an answer. I've just been pausing between these. Oh dear! I just caught fire. Oh my word!
Oh dear! I've just caught fire. Oh my word! Now that's such a reverend thing to say, isn't it? I mean, if it would have moved, what the fuck? Oh Jesus fucking Christ! And I'd be wearing something nylon probably. It'll just explode.
Yeah, yeah.
Good on him. Doing his job there. And he obviously doesn't swear in real life, because any other person who does usually swear would have been swearing like a trooper. I see Boris is out of hospital. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you also thank the people that looked after him. So
I wonder now that Boris is out of hospital and was given care by the NHS, and I'm sure he already knew how wonderful they were, and I wonder if he'll plough more money into it.
Well, he was going to sell it off, so hopefully that changes his mind.
yeah, time will tell about that.
I mean, I have to say it's a bit of karma. The guy was shaking hands and like laughing about it with people that had it weeks ago, and then he ended up getting it himself. So,
yeah.
Well, yeah, his behaviour wasn't perhaps the most appropriate for the times that we're experiencing.
He would have, like so many, had this gung-ho attitude of, oh, it's only a flu, but I'm not going to get it. But if I do, I'll just shake it off.
mm-hmm.
But anyway, he's back. Boris he'll be all right. He'll be back. Now, plough some money back in the NHS. I think he said he was, but no. Here's the Vaclav Havel Award. This is an Australian couple that sold a freezer to a woman online. So they sold it for a couple of $100. So this woman takes this freezer chest home, and then she plugs it in and she starts using it again, starts to use it, and it doesn't work and it's faulty. Something wrong with it. So she rings the couple up again and says, hey, I'm the person that just bought your freezer and it's not working. And the guy there says, oh, look, I'm pretty handy. Tell me where you live and I'll go and have a look at it. Okay, yeah, no worries. So she tells him where she lives, and he jumps in the car and he goes over there. He has a look at it and he says, yeah, I think I know what's wrong, but I've just got to go and get some tools and I'll be back, okay? So just give me some time. Off he goes. She's thinking, he's not coming back. I've done my go, not coming back. He goes off with his wife and he goes 2 towns over. Obviously, they're somewhere in the bush. So they've travelled a fair distance. They go to an electrical store. They've bought a brand new freezer. And 3 hours later or so, they've come back and dropped it off at this woman's house. And they said, look, it's broken. So here you go, have this brand new freezer. Oh, thank you. Do you want some money for it? They go, nope, it's all yours. Goodbye. See you later. So that's really nice. So just like the millionaire feeding the elderly, the pensioners at the 60 supermarkets in America, anyone can do something like that. And with that, I think Simon's about to nod off. He's got the touch of the corona lockdown shake.
I'm about to head out, I think. So
There you go. Tennis?
no, I'm just going to go for a walk.
Yeah, get the win through. Well, we'll let you go. We'll let you go, Simon. Tiernan, all the best. Just hit just 2 sentences at a time. 2 sentences at a time. All of a sudden, you got a book. So
Thank you very much.
Grotto with your lively young ladies. Live.
I'll keep it in mind.
See you later, fellas. Cheers.
Have a good one.